asked you what fills your cup? That analogy is gold. Everyone wants to live a fulfilled and happy life. I mean, why wouldn't you? The struggle is, how do we figure out what that looks like and how do we take the steps to make it happen? When I was building my first business, my number one daily goal was survival. I was trying to stay healthy enough to work those crazy hours so I could serve my clients to produce the revenue I needed to pay my bills and make payroll. Finding fulfillment was so down on the list for me because I was just trying to stay afloat. However, once I started shifting in my business from survival to thriving, that is when I had more time to ponder what fills my cup. Today I'm sharing with you how I figured out the answer to that question. Hey, my name is Sailynn and welcome to the Sailynn Show. I am a life coach for women entrepreneurs, and this show is where I share my journey and my techniques with you to help you shift from grinding to growing so you can live the life you really want without exhaustion and feelings of guilt. Each week, I empower you with tips and a free resource to help you live this one life we were given. This week, I'm offering you an opportunity to check out my brand new free webinar, How to Shift from Fried to Free in 5 months without fear of failure. During this webinar, I'll share with you my story of how I went from working 80-plus hour weeks to working part-time while building a multi-million-dollar business. You can register for this webinar at passionpurposeposture.com/fried2free. And I'll also pop a link in the show notes below. When I was working on What Today, my current company, I knew I wanted the words passion and purpose in there because that is what we all work towards in life, right? But there was that third piece that kept me stumped for a while, and I knew what it meant, but finding the right word to explain it and not copy others was a challenge. I think I Googled every word that began with P and just kept scrolling. Then it hit me. I was working with a team member from my online skincare division, and I used a common term in our industry, which is posture up, meaning it was time for her to pull back her shoulders and do what needed to be done. And that is how Lead with Posture came about in my tagline. Leading with posture means you have the self-confidence to share your journey and lock arms with others to help them on their journey, just like I'm doing with you right now. This is the point we're all striving for in our business, the point where we have the time, money, flexibility, and ultimately freedom to enjoy the fruits of our labor and do more. This could be volunteer work at your favorite nonprofit. It could be making a financial donation to a charity you think makes an impact in the world, or it could be helping a fellow colleague or businesswoman who needs some mentoring in her own life. Recently, I listened to one of Russell Brunson's books where the last chapter was the best summary on fulfillment I have ever heard. He says throughout our lives, we go through different stages, and when we start a business, we're focused on growth. However, after a while, we may feel stagnant because growth is just half of what we need to find true fulfillment in our lives. He says the second half of fulfillment comes from contribution. By helping others, we become more and more fulfilled. When I heard this, I was listening to his audiobook, and it was a huge aha moment for me. Why? Because that is how I had been feeling in my business back in 2015-ish. After I set myself free from the 80-hour work weeks and was working part-time, the question is, what do I do with the rest of my time? That is when I started to realize I was ready for the next phase, leading with posture. I began the shift from it's all about me and my goals to how I can help others achieve their goals. This meant giving my support team the tools and training they needed to step out of their boxes and try new things. Not only was I helping others, but I was also helping myself gain that sense of fulfillment. Once you find your passion, then start thriving with purpose, The next phase is to lead with posture. Here are 3 tips to get you going. 1, think about who in the past has asked you for help. Reach out to them and let them know that you appreciated their request in the past and you're now in a new phase of your business where you have more time. So the next time they may have something that they think might align with your skill set, to give you a ring. Number 2. Review your support team members. Identify who you think has the potential to excel further in their career with some mentoring. Design a mentorship plan for them and invite them to come along with you while you both grow together. And number 3, do some research on the causes that are important to you. Find an organization that could benefit from your time, talents, or treasures and reach out to them to see how you can help. I can guarantee you when you shift into this phase in your business, you will not only feel a sense of fulfillment, you will also impact more people than you ever imagined possible. In summary, leading with posture is something to be so proud of. It shows that you have transitioned in your life and business to a place where it's not all about you and your needs, to having the time, money, and flexibility to truly help others. This does not happen overnight, and if you try and do it all at once while you're building your business, you might struggle to balance it all, which could cause resentment on either end. So just know, no matter where you are today in your journey, the feeling of total fulfillment is possible. Again, I have empowered you with tips and a free resource to help you live this one life we were given. This week, I'm offering you an opportunity to check out my brand new free webinar, How to Shift from Fried to Free in 5 months Without Fear of Failure. During the webinar, I'll share my story of how I went from working 80-plus hour weeks to working part-time while building a multi-million-dollar business and finding that fulfillment we have all been talking about. You can register for this webinar at passionpurposeposture.com/fried to free, and I'll also pop the link in the show notes below. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, click my profile picture to get notified weekly of new episodes. And don't forget to live the one life you were given.